Bro, I know what a fan of Biden you are. I know you've been championing him from day one, right?
I'm a 2022 time biter. That's what they call the Biden fans. That's what I do.
Ketanji Brown, Supreme Court nominee, now appointed. He's also got Kamala Harris writing underneath him. It's kind of like a little bit of an Oreo cookie situation, but that's another story. She gave a very emotional speech. I'm gonna hit you with a couple of quotes. It has taken 232 years and 115 prior appointments for a Black woman to be selected to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States, but we have made it. We have made it, all of us. So that's you too.
Yeah.
Fucking hater. The path was cleared so that I might rise to the occasion. And in the poetic words of Dr. Maya Angelou, I do so now while bringing the gifts of my ancestors. That's a strong Black woman.
Yep. Agreed.
Biden's in the middle.
Yep.
Kamala's at the bottom.
Standing on the side.
Brown's on the top.
Okay. Standing on the other side.
How could you be mad at this? Please.
Okay. So obviously if anybody who's watched this knows my opinion of Joe Biden. And I feel like he came in when he was running, and his main talking point, or what he was selling, was that he was for Black people. He's going to do all these things for Black people. And when he got into office, he hung all these pictures. He took down the pictures of the white oppressors, and he hung up some Black heroes for us. And that's all he did for a long ass time. People say that his wanting Kamala Harris as his vice president was another move that he made. I agree. You know what? As much as I might sit here and say, it's just a face and she doesn't really have power, that's BS. The VP of the United States is always going to have some kind of power, some kind of say when it comes to something. At least if she wants to do something and it's something where it's good for the government, where it's a good look, I can see it happening. You know what I mean? I could see that happening. And now we have Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's now is the first Black woman, first Black. I don't know if there's a Black man. I believe there actually is one.
There is.
Yeah, there is. So the first Black woman appointed to the Supreme Court justice. And that is a big thing too. It's huge because it's something where it's the first of in 232 years. But you know what? I like to look at things with a full view. I appreciate the moment, and I don't want to take away from what has happened, because it is historic and it is great for Black people, because it is something that will provoke change. You have to start somewhere, and I understand that.
Now, let me take away from the moment. Go ahead.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm about to do. How much change is this really going to affect in the overall justice system, knowing that there's still over 100 white men who are Supreme Court justices around the world? And a lot of these states only operate with these white men as their Supreme Court justices when it comes to court cases. So there's still going to be areas of the world where, while this change is great, are not going to feel it. And the worst part about it is those are the states where it's probably needed the most. And I'm talking about change for the Black community. That's the worst part about it. It's great on its face. It looks good. It looks good. But to me, this is just another form of lipstick on a pig, or trying to shine a turd.
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. I think that you're right. I mean, right foot before the left, or depending on, whatever. But you got to take, in order to take a full step, 1, 2, right? So this was the, I guess, 0.5 of the first step.
Right. You got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. But to your point, absolutely. This is just what? She's a wave in an ocean.
Right.
She's a ripple in the puddle.
Right.
I could only imagine, if just picture this, if you will. Say they all hang out, right? New Year's Eve party. They're all
Oreo party,
trading war
Oreo
stories.
cookies.
Sure. They're all trading war stories about, the cases they've had to look at. She's
Mhm.
trying to get her 2 cents in. Everybody's talking over her. They're making little sly comments. This is, and I could be off. This has not been my experience amongst the whites, but I'm just saying, right? We're talking about America here. We're talking about
Right.
the legal system here, right? We're talking about over 100 white people kind of just running things, and all of a sudden they insert homegirl. And by the way, when she was getting I guess not necessarily sworn in, but when she had to go through where they were asking her a bunch of questions, I can't remember what the process is called. It escapes me at the moment, but they did not make it easy on her.
No,
They
no,
made it
they were asking her
really,
some
really
real
hard. In fact, the one thing which was crazy to me that they drilled down on is her air quote leniency to pedophiles. Pedophiles. They said that when it came to sentencing pedophiles, she was lenient. They started saying things like, aren't you worried about your family? Your children's privacy? Is this like they really went ham on her, bro?
right.
And like I understand putting because this is the opposing side, right? The Republicans. This is a Democratic Supreme Court justice. Of course, they're gonna have some pushback, but of all things, pedophilia. So I say that to say this: they were clearly reaching because at the end of the day, you knew she was actually gonna get appointed. So why would you even want to put that optic in the public's mind that you could possibly have someone on the Supreme Court justice who supports pedophiles? Like, why would you want that?
Hey, listen, just I want somebody who's watching this. I'm definitely going to do it after because I might be completely wrong. The number has to be go out there. Just go and Google the percentages of people who have been charged with pedophilia and what race they are. Just Google it. I mean, I'm saying it here, and I might sound stupid after, but I'm pretty confident saying it here that I'm going to be proven right in what I feel, and I
And you
guess
didn't,
we'll all feel what I feel when
and
you
you
do
didn't
when
even
you
say it.
Google it.
And you didn't
No,
even
I'm not.
say it.
I don't have. I'm not gonna
You
say
don't
it. I'm
have to
not gonna
say
say
it. You don't
it.
have
You
to
don't
say
have
it.
to say it. Let people Google it and figure it out for themselves. They know
But
what I
but
mean.
let's not stray away from the point that Biden is
It's a stupid
he's
argument, is what I'm saying. That's a
but
stupid argument.
yeah, but Biden
You're
is
right.
definitely making some notches on his belt, bro.
It is a change, right?
Because when you
That's what I
said,
started off saying.
yeah,
You're
but
right.
when you said that, he just talked the talk, he's not gonna walk the walk. Like there's things that you can do to prove that you're walking the walk. You can get down in the communities, you can impact education, housing, infrastructure, all super important things. And there's many of them, right? There's so many
Mhm.
air quote small things that you can do, like almost like grassroots level, you know what I mean?
Right.
Impact the people type of thing. Or you can just kind of do all of those things all in one shot. For example, a black vice president. For example, a black Supreme Court judge, woman,
Right.
woman. So these are
I
big
mean, listen,
things. So
as far as positions in the US government, Joe Biden is responsible for appointing two black women to two of the top, I would say, is it five or six positions that you could have in the US government, right? Obviously, Kamala Harris being number two. And I believe after that, it's like Speaker of the House. And
right.
then I'm not sure if there's like a chief Supreme Court justice. That's what I'm assuming there is, like a head one, and then there's the rest of them. That's why I'm saying she's number five. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching this and you know. But definitely a big move as far as the government is concerned. You know what I mean? It's a great look. But when it comes to justice overall in the United States, I hope it affects change, just like I hoped that Kamala Harris being vice president would create more initiatives for Black people. But I'm still waiting. So
I
I'll
think
continue
I
to wait.
think those things are important. And you're right. The Kamala Harris move, it was about optics, I think, more than
I'm
anything.
waiting to see. I'm because I you know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of stuff that has changed, right? I'm not gonna act like Um, even though I despise the BLM movement and they just been outed because they just went out and bought a $6 million house with the
Which, by the
donations they
way,
received.
she says that never happened, but go ahead.
Okay, well, whatever. Take your name off the deed, then, stupid. But anyways,
Don't act like somebody in your family didn't say, "Yo, can I put this in your name?" Don't
what
act
I'm
like that
trying to
never
say though
happened
is
before.
they have there
But
has been change.
anyways,
They brought light. That name has brought light to certain things, and people use that name as a defense, right? So that's where it's affected the change, the BLM thing. People love to use that term and that hashtag. So that's where it's affected. It's changed, and I appreciate that. But those two things, that I see them as the same. I see Joe Biden, what he's doing, as the same thing that BLM's doing, right? It does when necessary, when we will get our moments from them. We will have our moments, but in the overall spectrum, and once it's not trending anymore,
yeah,
it doesn't seem to become a priority. You understand what I'm saying? I feel
no,
like
I
this move
agree.
that was made because it was needed, but this move has been needed for, she said it's been 232 years. I'll give you 70. I'll give you 80. I'll give you 50. This should have been done from a long time ago. There's a reason the trigger was pulled right now. And I believe it's because there's been a lack of other things coming out of that office that follow what Joe Biden's campaign was all about.
Damn,
Bang, I
can
nailed that
yeah,
sentence.
but can it just be a win? Can it just be Biden just saying, "Hey, these guys missed opportunities," including Barack?
Mhm.
Barack had the opportunity to
Right.
do this. He didn't. Barack
That would have
was
been too much though. That would have been, see, because
that would have been too black.
that would have been black people help. Yeah, that would have been the black people
That would have
helping the
been
black
black
people
people
out.
helping black people, which
Right.
is crazy, by the way, because you
Right.
know why? I go back to optics.
She just got
Ho-
the job because she's black.
Hold up, there's that, but also no, but actually, that is it. It's like,
Yes.
hey, black guy running everything, hire a black person.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they must be underqualified. And the only reason they got the job was because she's black or
Right.
he's black. So optics, right? But at the same time, I think that Barack really, and I don't want to sway from the conversation we're having, but I think that Barack should have did that. I feel like Barack more so pushed the LGBTQ. I think he did more for that community than he did for our own.
But I mean,
And
what you're
and
saying
and
right now, only furthers the point that I continue to make, that the president, yes, the president does have a lot of power, but he also has to answer to people as well, as much power as he has. There's a political initiative behind every single move, and it has to be beneficial to not only himself, but to his party, to the opposing party, to the public.
yeah, but you have to remember, it's not like
Too many
it was just
variables.
black people that voted for Barack.
I know that, but I'm just
Trans
saying.
people voted for Barack. Gay people voted for Barack. He had promises to keep it. And I know I'm kind of walking back my own argument, but I'm just trying to point out, like, when you talk about the people that you serve, like the people that voted for you to get into office, you got to try to do something for everybody. If you're lucky enough, you will have 8 years to touch everybody.
Right.
I don't think Barack did what he should have did for people who look like us, apart from getting in office. I feel like he got in there and he was like, "Niggas, it's possible."
Well,
And then that was
I do applaud, I in that aspect with what you're saying. I in that way I would applaud Joe Biden then for actually pulling the trigger. I'm assuming that this was a difficult move to get passed along, but I guarantee you that there was a lot of lobbying, a lot of dinners, a lot of phone conversations where Biden made sure that she would win the vote if she passed her little test trial that she was on.
congressional hearing. That's what it is.
There it
Bothering
is.
me. Yeah.
Once she
Congressional
passed
hearing.
that, and I'm pretty sure that he made sure that she had enough votes before he went forward with any of his moves first. So it must have been a lot of difficult work on his
Are
team's
you
part, on
kidding
his
me?
part.
Bro, yo,
So I have to give him credit for that.
imagine how many people they had to vet. Because
Right.
whoever they put up as a black woman had to be in penetrable. Like her reputation had to be solid, which is why I go back to the original point that I made, that the only thing they had to come at her with was her leniency on pedophiles, which
Right.
is crazy, because why would Biden and the Democrats support a pedophile? You understand what I'm saying? So it's an obvious farce. It's an obvious lie.
Well, I do not want to take away from the fact that we do have a Black woman on the Supreme Court. Well, not us, because we're in Canada, so it doesn't really affect us. But the United States has a Black woman on Supreme Court justice now. The first one. History has been made. Congratulations to her, because I don't even believe she thought this could happen in her career. So this is the echelon, the upper peak. You've reached the mountaintop. And I want to just make sure that she gets her respect, she gets her flowers. And I can't wait to see what she does with her position of power. I can't wait. I'm excited.
All right, viewing public, what are your thoughts here, man? Honestly, did you think this was gonna happen? And really, what I'm saying is not that do you think a Black woman would ever attain the prestigious title of Supreme Court justice, but did you ever think that Biden would keep a promise to the Black people?
So
leave it in the comments. Don't forget
after he hung those pictures on the wall, of course.
All right, deuces.